So chances are, if you're watching this video, you either love the Clone Wars and you're here to pass judgment on me to see if I'm not a fake fan, or you might not have seen the show at all, and thanks to some recent events that happened in The Mandalorian, you might be finding yourself wanting to catch up on the animated series. Well, you dweebs, pros, and hoes have all come to the right place. Welcome to Cuenin's Cove. I'm Cuenin, and today I'm breaking down the essential episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars, or the essential viewing guide, if you will. So just a few disclaimers before we begin. This essentials guide was put together by myself and a friend of mine. We are both huge Clone Wars fans, but that does mean that it is fan-made. So if you're looking for an official guide, I'm sorry, it just doesn't exist. The closest thing to an official guide is going to be the chronological episode order to the series that you can find on StarWars.com. And that brings me to my second disclaimer: this is an anthology series. If you didn't already know, the Clone Wars doesn't exactly happen in order, so this essentials guide might seem a bit out of place, but this does happen in order of events and with character arcs in mind. So keep in mind that you might be jumping around a bit from season to season, but don't worry about it. And finally, if you see me change outfits in parts of this video, it's because I've gone back to sort of rework this guide to make it the best it can be. This is a re-upload, but this is the better version. Alright, so this guide is split into two parts. Two parts, with a secret third one at the end, so stick around for that. It's up to you which guide you want to watch based on how much time or effort you want to put into it. So the first plan, part 1, is going to be called The Essentials. Featuring 78 episodes, The Essentials has everything you might need. If you don't want to watch the whole series and you want to skim through the episodes you think you might not like, The Essentials has got you covered with story essentials and many fan favorites. The runtime of The Essentials is 30 hours and 14 minutes. Part 2 is the skeleton plan. Now, keep in mind, this is not my recommended plan. If you're not going to watch the whole series, you should watch The Essentials. But the skeleton plan exists if you really don't want to put that much time into it, if you're maybe just a week away from the new season coming out. This is the plan for you. And then once the new season's out, you can go back and enjoy the entire series, because you have to. So if you find yourself in a pinch to watch the bare bones of the series, the skeleton plan is the plan for you. The runtime of the skeleton plan is 12 hours and 38 minutes, which is a significant drop from the essentials. If you've seen the series before, you might be kind of offended by the skeleton plan, because it doesn't really include all the cool stuff. It only includes what you'll need to see to watch Season 7. Also understand that these episode guides, both the skeleton and the essentials, will focus on 4 major characters and storylines. The Clone Wars original character, Ahsoka Tano, the return of Maul, the development of the clones as, actual characters, and Mandalore. The more lengthy of a plan you choose, the more you'll enjoy yourself. That's just a fact, because the more Clone Wars, the better, But no matter which plan you choose, it will keep those 4 characters, those 4 core storylines, so you can walk away from it and be able to understand, Mandalorian Season 2, Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7, all the good stuff. So before we jump into it, here are both of the plans, here are their time codes in the video. Jump to whichever one you want to do. We're going to start with the essentials. Let's go. Welcome to the Essentials, totaling 30 hours and 14 minutes. This plan more than doubles the time of the skeleton plan, so if you can buy the extra time, I really recommend you watch this plan, just like I said before. To start the Essentials off, you're gonna have to watch the Clone Wars movie. Now, if you've already seen it, that's good, you can probably skip it, but the most important thing about it is that it introduces Ahsoka as Anakin's apprentice. So if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. But if you do skip it, it will shave off 98 minutes off of every plan, so that's also useful. But some of you might think it's cringy, but you gotta watch it. I personally love it. Next up, you're watching the Domino Squad arc. This arc introduces you to some of our favorite clone troopers as they rise through the ranks of the Republic. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 1, Clone Cadets, Season 1, Episode 5, Rookies, and Season 3, Episode 2, ARC Troopers. Keep in mind, this is, again, the prime example of it being an anthology series. The Season 3 episodes served as a prequel and a sequel to the Season 1 episode, which is why the Season 1 episode is smack dab in the middle. Next, we're going to introduce you to the bounty hunter, Cad Bane, as he's tasked with a dangerous mission to steal a holocron from the Jedi Temple. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 1, Holocron Heist, Season 2, Episode 2, Cargo of Doom, and Season 2, Episode 3, Children of the Force. Next on the list is the Zillo Beast, featuring a kaiju-style monster erupting from the ground as the Separatists and the Republic wage war. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 18, the Zillo Beast, and Season 2, Episode 19, the Zillo Beast Strikes Back. Next up, we have the Second Battle of Geonosis. You remember all that stuff that happened in Attack of the Clones? Yeah, it's gonna happen again. Featuring Anakin, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Luminara, and Ki-Adi-Mundi, they all return to the desert planet for hopefully the last time in the Clone Wars, as they attempt to take down the largest droid factory ever built. This is a 4-episode arc. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 5, Landing at Point Rain, Season 2, Episode 6, Weapons Factory, Season 2, Episode 7, Legacy of Terror, and Season 2, Episode 8, Brain Invaders. This is a beautiful arc because you learn a lot about Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka, and you also get some clone action near the end. Cool stuff. Next up is a single episode, The Deserter. Clone Captain Rex, our favorite brother, runs into something quite interesting. A clone that has abandoned the Republic and is living his own life. What? You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 10, The Deserter. Next up is Lightsaber Lost. This is a single episode featuring Ahsoka early on in the Clone Wars, and you might have guessed it from the title, she loses her lightsaber. She's gotta go find that shit. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 11, Lightsaber Lost. Now next up is where things get quite fun, especially if you've enjoyed The Mandalorian so far. The Duchess of Mandalore arc. This is a 3-episode arc, that introduces Mandalore, its leaders, and a quite interesting relationship there that might play into stuff later. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 12, The Mandalore Plot, Season 2, Episode 13, Voyage of Temptation, and Season 2, Episode 14, The Duchess of Mandalore. Next up is a rather interesting arc, The Revenge of Boba Fett. Remember how his dad's head got cut off in the last movie? Yeah, well, you know, they didn't just drop that. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 20, Death Trap, Season 2, Episode 21, R2 Come Home, and Season 2, Episode 22, Lethal Trackdown. And look at that, we've already blown through 2 seasons. Beautiful. And here we go, back to Mandalore, as we find the Duchess of Mandalore, Padme, and Ahsoka dealing with a quite interesting conspiracy. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 5, Corruption, and Season 3, Episode 6, The Academy. Next is a 2-episode arc, Heroes on Both Sides, featuring Padme and Ahsoka on a rather political journey. And for you prequel haters out there, don't worry. Politics in the Clone Wars is actually good. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 10, Heroes on Both Sides, and Season 3, Episode 11, Pursuit of Peace. Now let's take a step back and learn a little bit more about Asajj Ventress as we move into the Night Sisters arc when they're up to some serious witchcraft. This arc will also help give some context to some Darth Maul stuff that will happen later. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 12, Night Sisters, Season 3, Episode 13, Monster, and Season 3, Episode 14, Witches of the Mist. Now onto one of my personal favorite arcs, The Mortis Gods. Starring Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka, they journey to a strange world that appears to be a physical manifestation of the Force itself, as they encounter mystical beings that aren't afraid of challenging the future that we know will eventually come true. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 15, Overlords, Season 3, Episode 16, Altar of Mortis, and Season 3, Episode 17, Ghosts of Mortis. This is some of that good shit I'll talk about. Next up is the main reason why I came back to re-upload this video, the Citadel arc, featuring Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Captain Rex, Commander Cody, Echo, Fives, and Tarkin. We find them attempting to rescue a Jedi that was held captive. This is a very important arc, and I am kind of disappointed that I missed it at first. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 18, The Citadel, Season 3, Episode 19, Counterattack, and Season 3, Episode 20, Citadel Rescue. Now we move on to the Padawan Lost arc, a 2-episode arc that follows Ahsoka as she gets lost and is hunted by Trandoshans. You know, those Bosk guys. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 21, Padawan Lost, Season 3, Episode 22, Wookiee Hunt. Ooh, look! Season 4, here we go. Do you ever wonder the true meaning behind "it's a trap"? Well, probably not. It's pretty simple. But you can join Captain Akbar in the Civil War of Mon Cala, as the 2 species of the planet, the Mon Calamari and the Cuenin, battle it out. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 1, Water War, Season 4, Episode 2, Gungan Attack, and Season 4, Episode 3, Prisoners. Up next, we got ourselves some much-deserved clone trooper action in the Battle of Umbara. For all of you who have watched the show, oh yeah, it's time. See firsthand how the clones are actually treated and seen in the galaxy. They're more than just soldiers, you know. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 7, Darkness on Umbara, Season 4, Episode 8, The General, Season 4, Episode 9, Plan of Descent, and Season 4, Episode 10, Carnage of Krell. Oh boy, you in for a treat. Do you ever wonder if little orphan Annie is still upset that there's slavery in the galaxy? I mean, he was a slave, and you never really see them dealing with that kind of stuff. Until now. In the Slaves of Zygeria arc, we find Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and the lot dealing with slavers in the most satisfying way possible. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 11, Kidnapped, Season 4, Episode 12, Slaves of the Republic, and Season 4, Episode 13, Escape from Kadavo. Next up, we'll just snag one more single episode as Ahsoka goes to help an old friend that we introduced you to earlier. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 14, A Friend in Need. This also has some pretty cool Mandalore stuff going on. But do you ever wake up and just think, Obi-Wan's just so great. Why don't we just get more of him? We are getting a Kenobi series, but when it comes to the Clone Wars, you're in luck. The assassination of Obi-Wan is quite the interesting arc. Just by its name, I can tell you're intrigued, and for those of you who have seen it, oh yeah. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 15, Deception, Season 4, Episode 16, Friends and Enemies, Season 4, Episode 17, The Box, Season 4, Episode 18, Crisis on Naboo. And before things get too crazy, we're gonna slow things down just a little bit and jump back in with Asajj Ventress and the lot. And you'll finally find out why the Night Sisters are never really present after the Clone Wars. Plus, some Boba Fett action comes in with the second episode. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 19, Massacre, and Season 4, Episode 20, Bounty. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The Return of Maul. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 21, Brothers, and Season 4, Episode 22, Revenge. Ooh, spicy. This next arc is a little bit ironic, as we find Anakin and the gang going to Onderon to train some rebels, including the likes of Saw Gerrera, who you see in Rogue One. Someone that'll cause Anakin a lot of trouble later down the line. You'll be watching Season 5, Episode 2, A War on Two Fronts, Season 5, Episode 3, Frontrunners, Season 5, Episode 4, The Soft War, and Season 5, Episode 5, Tipping Points. Now the next arc is a story that I hold close to my heart, and many fans do as well, as Ahsoka takes a group of Padawans to the planet Ilum to build their first lightsabers. Really cool stuff. This is a 4-episode arc. You'll be watching Season 5, Episode 6, The Gathering, Season 5, Episode 7, A Test of Strength, Season 5, Episode 8, Bound for Rescue, and Season 5, Episode 9, A Necessary Bond. Now we move into the last huzzah of the series, as things really start to pick up. Next, we're diving into the corruption of Mandalore and the vengeance of Maul. And it's really cool how they're both the same arc. You'll be watching Season 5, Episode 1, Revival, Season 5, Episode 14, Eminence, Season 5, Episode 15, Shades of Reason, and Season 5, Episode 16, The Lawless. Now, grab your tissues, because this next arc deals with the corruption of the Republic and the idea that the Jedi might be wrong. Goes against everything I was taught as a kid. You'll be watching Season 5, Episode 17, Sabotage, Season 5, Episode 18, The Jedi Who Knew Too Much, Season 5, Episode 19, To Catch a Jedi, and Season 5, Episode 20, The Wrong Jedi. And now we move on to the final season. Season 6. Here we go. 2 arcs left. First, we're gonna check in with our clone buddies, as this is pretty much the finale of the clones until, Season 7, as we watch the Clone Conspiracy 66 arc. Yeah, I know. You'll be watching Season 6, Episode 1, The Unknown, Season 6, Episode 2, Conspiracy, Season 6, Episode 3, Fugitive, Season 6, Episode 4, Orders. And if you know this arc, I have another video on this. You should go watch that. Pretty cool. Now this last one is monumental. When the show was originally canceled when Disney bought Lucasfilm, it originally ended with the end of Season 5. That's the original ending we all knew. Until they then made a deal with Netflix, they scrapped together what they had finished, made a Season 6, and put it on Netflix. So this arc is the original ending to the Clone Wars, until Season 7. This arc is what we all had to say goodbye to. You'll be watching Season 6, Episode 10, The Lost One, Season 6, Episode 11, Voices, Season 6, Episode 12, Destiny, and Season 6, Episode 13, Sacrifice. So there's the essentials. If you've watched all of that, you've got a pretty good idea of what the Clone Wars is, and all I can do after that is recommend just go back and watch the whole thing, because that's the only way you'll get all of it, you know? But now that you've watched the essentials, you're ready for Season 7. And oh boy, are you excited. Now welcome to the Skeleton Plan, totaling 12 hours and 38 minutes, less than half of the time of the essentials. So if you really need to save time, this is the plan for you. Again, just like the essentials, you're gonna start off by watching the Clone Wars movie. Now, if you've already seen it, you can go ahead and skip. You might have seen the Clone Wars movie and that's what turned you away from the show. I don't know, but it's essential. You gotta know how they introduce Ahsoka. Next up is your introduction to the clones in the Domino Squad arc. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 1, Clone Cadets, Season 1, Episode 5, Rookies, and Season 3, Episode 2, ARC Troopers. Again, this is where it gets a little scrambly and you'll be jumping around in the seasons. Next up is the Lightsaber Lost story. This is a single episode following Ahsoka when she loses her lightsaber. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 11, Lightsaber Lost. And here you'll start to see where we start trimming down some of the fat of the essentials, because we cut out a lot of the good stuff, and we've kept only what's necessary. So next is the Duchess of Mandalore. This is a 3-episode arc introducing Mandalore, the Duchess, and a pretty spicy relationship that'll come in handy later on. You'll be watching Season 2, Episode 12, The Mandalore Plot, Season 2, Episode 13, Voyage of Temptation, and Season 2, Episode 14, Duchess of Mandalore. And look at that, we're already through 2 seasons, that was fast. On to Season 3. You'll be watching Heroes on Both Sides, a single arc following Ahsoka and Padme as the dynamic duo. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 10, Heroes on Both Sides. Oh man, we're blasting through this. Next, we move on to the Padawan Lost arc, as Ahsoka gets lost and is hunted by Trandoshans. You'll be watching Season 3, Episode 21, Padawan Lost, and Season 3, Episode 22, Wookiee Hunt. Next, we get more Clone Trooper frenzy as we watch the Battle of Umbara. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 7, Darkness on Umbara, Season 4, Episode 8, The General, Season 4, Episode 9, Plan of Descent, and Season 4, Episode 10, Carnage of Krell. Next, we're gonna snag just one more episode with Ahsoka, as she goes to help an old friend of hers, a friend that we learned about a few episodes back. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 14, A Friend in Need. And now the moment you've all heard about, the return of Maul. You'll be watching Season 4, Episode 21, Brothers, Season 4, Episode 22, Revenge. And since in the essentials there was a lot of stuff here, we cut that out. We're just gonna jump into more Maul stuff, because that's the stuff that really matters when it comes to the story. You'll be watching Season 5, Episode 1, Revival, Season 5, Episode 14, Eminence, Season 5, Episode 15, Shades of Reason, and Season 5, Episode 16, The Lawless. And here we go, we're almost done. Grab your tissues, because you're in for a treat. You'll be watching Season 5, Episode 17, Sabotage, Season 5, Episode 18, The Jedi Who Knew Too Much, Season 5, Episode 19, To Catch a Jedi, and Season 5, Episode 20, The Wrong Jedi. Next up, we get some closure to our clone troopers, until Season 7, of course. You'll be watching Season 6, Episode 1, The Unknown, Season 6, Episode 2, Conspiracy, Season 6, Episode 3, Fugitive, and Season 6, Episode 4, Orders. Once you're done watching that arc, I made a video on this arc. You should go check that out. Now, this last one is kind of optional. This is the final episode of a 4-episode arc, but you'll only be watching that last episode. In the essentials, you would be watching the full 4 episodes, but it doesn't really add much to the story of the essential 4 characters and stories that we talked about earlier. But since this is the original ending to the series, I think it's essential that you at least watch this final episode. Thank God for the opening narrations in every episode. Without that, you would be watching all 4 right now. So you'll watch Season 6, Episode 13, Sacrifice. And now, the secret third plan. If you've got all the time in the world on your hands, and you can watch, as much as you need to, and you don't want to rush, this is the plan for you. And this plan was by far the easiest one for me to make, because all I have to do is say, go watch all of the series. Just every episode. Honestly, I originally did have a whole third plan planned out with extra episodes thrown in just for the hell of it, but then I just kept adding more and more, and then that's when I realized that I just think all these episodes are great. Sure, there are some that are better than others, but they're all awesome. So for the people out there who have all the time in the world, go watch the whole series. Start off by watching the Clone Wars movie, then jump over to the series, start on season 1, episode 1, and just blow through it. If you want to watch it in chronological order, I put a link in the description for StarWars.com. They've got a chronological order, but really either way, you can watch it season 1, episode 1 on, or you can jump around in chronological order. It really doesn't matter. Either way, you'll get the same gist of everything. So thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, I beg you, no, I don't beg you, I'm not a little bitch, please leave a thumbs up. I made this video because after The Mandalorian and with the new season coming up, people have been asking me, we know you've watched the Clone Wars, should I watch it? And I'm like, hell yeah, guys, you should watch it. So then I go on my computer and I look up the essential guide, or if there's like a trimmed down list, but I couldn't find anything. There's episode order, chronological order, there's all sorts of things, but no essentials. No one's had the balls to do this. Now, if you're still watching at this point, thank you. I have a gift for you. If you go down to the description, that's where you'll find your present. I want you guys to watch this video over and over again if you have to. But if you've reached this point in the video, I've made a spreadsheet that you can go back to with the essentials guide and the skeleton plan so that you don't have to come back and skip through the video. We'll let everyone else who clicked away to do the clicking through and stuff. Now, for the love of the Mortis gods, stop watching this video and go watch some motherfucking Clone Wars, because you need to get on this. Even if you've seen the series, this is what you need to be doing right now. So just go do it. I'll see you guys next time on Cuenin's Cove. Bye-bye.